Society these days is set up completely wrong. We're all taught to be in a victim mindset and almost have pride in being a victim. It's almost like whoever is the most hard done by gets the biggest reward. The way the brain works is it wants to keep us somewhere that's familiar, because familiarity equals safety. And so if you are comfortable and familiar with being a victim, then your brain will continue to keep you in that victim mindset. You also don't stay in any particular place unless you get something from it. So being a victim and having that attitude of like, oh, woe is me, life hates me, it might feel like you don't really get anything out of that, but there's a reason why your brain chooses to stay in that. Maybe you get sympathy from friends and family. Maybe it gives you an excuse to get out of things like working hard. Maybe it helps you connect with people because that's how you've always connected with others, is through shared struggle. Whatever it is, you have to recognize what you are getting out of staying in this victim mindset and staying unhappy, because you wouldn't be staying in this down, unhappy place if you weren't actually subconsciously getting something from that. Another thing that I see a lot, which is a big problem in today's society, is our obsession with instant gratification. We expect to see results immediately. So as soon as someone starts saying some positive affirmations or trying to kind of make a change and be happier, they don't instantly become happy. And for some reason, we expect to. It's the same as if you went to the gym once and then expected to be shredded. It's not going to work like that. Things take time and things take a process. And it's the exact same thing as happiness. You cannot just wake up one day, write some nice affirmations in your journal, do a nice meditation, and then you're happy. If you have been stuck in this sad victim mindset for a long time, I think of it like a spiral. So say this is you having these thoughts, right? And they're either productive and helping you, become a better, happier version of yourself, or they're the opposite and they're negative and they're making you spiral further and further. Whichever way these thoughts are heading makes you go towards more of this upward spiral or more of this downward spiral. So for example, if you're having thoughts such as, I hate my work, they don't pay me enough, oh, I can't make my business work, I can't, I don't have any friends, no one likes me, I can't get a boyfriend. All these thoughts, you have those thoughts, you have like a bad day and you have those thoughts, you're not going to come all the way down to the bottom of this spiral. You'll kind of come down to here, but then if the next day you start upping your thoughts again and being more positive, you'll kind of start coming back up into this spiral. What happens is people get stuck in these same thought patterns over and over and over and over again. And they start every single day, it adds on and it adds on. And you go down this spiral until eventually you feel so deep in this victimhood and unhappiness. It feels like you're in this deep, dark hole that you just cannot get out of. The same goes for the opposite way. So if you're having good thoughts and solid thoughts, if you have a great day for one day, you don't all of a sudden spiral up into like enlightenment and being super rich and successful and having the relationship that you've always dreamed of. That doesn't just happen in 24 hours from changing your thoughts. But what will happen is you'll elevate to kind of here, and then if you have the same thoughts again the next day, you'll come up to here, and months and months and months pass, and then you've spiraled up to this awesome place up here. And this now seems so far away. And it's going to take a long time to get you back down there. It's going to take a lot of negative thinking over and over to kind of bring you back down. And it's the exact same thing here. When you get all the way down here and you're used to all those negative thoughts, you feel like you're just stuck down here, and this up here seems so far away. It seems so far out of reach to feel happy and good because you're so used to feeling down and feeling sad. We also get disheartened. So you might have this spur of motivation when you're feeling that down and you think, okay, I'm going to change my life. This is it. I'm going to be happier. I'm going to get there. And so you're just trying to change your thoughts for one day or maybe a week if you're lucky. And so you get kind of to here, but you don't really see these instant results. You're not here within a week. And so you get disheartened and your thoughts just turn straight back down and you spiral down again. And it just feels impossible. It feels like you are never going to go up this ladder. The biggest thing that you need to remember is that nothing comes overnight. Every single thing that you want to achieve, including happiness, takes time and consistency and commitment. And it is a thing that you can control with your thoughts and with your emotional regulation and your nervous system regulation. If you are doing these things every single day consistently, even when you have a bad day, even when you're feeling a bit down, even when it feels like it's not working and you feel like you're so far from being happy, just know you are coming up that spiral, but you have to keep going up until you start seeing the results. I hope you understand that, because I just look back at it and realize it's just a giant squiggle. I also want to talk about why we get stuck down here so much. So there's this thing called learned helplessness. Basically what it is there was an experiment that was done a long time ago by Dr. Martin Seligman. He got a bunch of dogs and separated them into two groups. He would give them electric shocks. One group could press something to stop the electric shocks. The other group, no matter what they did, no matter, they weren't in control of those electric shocks, right? They just got them no matter what. There was nothing they could do. He then took them out, whatever, placed them back into another circumstance where they were getting electric shocks, except this time they could both stop the electric shocks easily. I think they could jump over a wall to get away very easily, or I'm not quite sure of the details. The incredible thing is, every single one of the dogs that had learnt that they could control and stop the shocks themselves, they got out like that. They stopped it immediately because they'd learned that they were in control of their own circumstances. And so they tried and they succeeded and they made it stop. The dogs that learned that no matter what they did, they were still going to get shocked, they didn't even try. So even though the escape or the ability to make it stop was right there, it was not hard, they would never know because they didn't even try, because they had learned helplessness. So they had literally learned that they were helpless. And that is what happens to us as human beings. It's a psychological principle of learned helplessness, that people get into this state, and when they get down here, no matter how hard they try, it feels like they're just helpless and they're not in control of their situation, because it takes a long time and a lot of effort, I'm going to be honest, to get from here up to here. But every single person can do it. However, if you have convinced yourself that you are helpless and nothing you do can change the fact that you're stuck down here, then you will forever be stuck in this victimhood. And even though it's very easy for you to escape out of it and you can do it, you won't even really try. And every time you do try, you've already got this sort of bias in your head, convinced that it's not going to work. So my homework to you is start noting down your thoughts. Notice the types of thoughts that you are having. Are you positive or negative in general? Are you having thoughts that you hate your job? Are you focusing on the negatives about your job? Are you having thoughts that your business isn't succeeding, that you're not making enough money, that your friends don't like you? Or are your thoughts more positive? So even if your job isn't ideal, are you thinking about all the ways that it is good, that it's giving you money and it allows you to pay your bills? Start noting down your thoughts, and specifically note down the areas where you are having trouble in your life. So if it's around your job, if it's around money, if it's around relationships, notice the thoughts that you are having there, and you will start to notice whether they're spiraling down or spiraling up. Also, start noticing your language. Your language is very connected to your thoughts. If you think about it, we literally speak our thoughts out loud. So what you say is a really good indicator to how you are thinking. So notice the tone in which you speak. Are you speaking positively or negatively? Notice when you have a conversation, do they seem like kind of drained from talking to you, or do they like talking to you? Do they come away inspired because you're positive? Notice how you're speaking, and at the end of all that, when you've observed and you notice what your patterns are, start changing it and stay consistent. It's not easy at first. It's absolutely not, because it's a habit. It's something that you've formed over and over again. And it's something, like we ran through this whole video, that's not going to be an overnight fix. So just start picking it up. When you have a negative thought, reframe it. How can you see it in a positive light? When you say something negative, or you go to say something negative, reframe it. Either don't say it at all, or say something in a more positive light. This isn't completely bypassing. I don't want you to just pretend that a shitty situation isn't a shitty situation. But instead of focusing only on how shit it is and how shit your life is, focus on the positives. You can acknowledge that you're having a bit of a hard time, and you can say, oh, this is feeling really challenging at the moment, but I know that I'm going to come up out of this. It's just those tiny reframes. It doesn't have to be all rainbows and sunshine all the time, but just try and avoid getting down into that negative spiral more and more. Stay consistent. That is the main thing. No matter what, no matter how you are feeling, no matter whether you're seeing results in your outside world yet, stay consistent with it. Your thoughts really, really do create your reality, and you will find that with time and with consistency, your life will completely reflect back to you the types of thoughts that you're having. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Please give me a follow and a like if you like this video, and I'll see you next time.